Andrew Holmes, welcome into Forever Forward, my friend.
Thank you for having me, my man.
Look, you're a personal trainer. I'm excited to get into the science behind all this and why you started the business and how it's going. But I guess let's just start here. Like, I don't want to sound stupid, but why is it important that people are in the gym?
Simple forms, like it just makes everything in life better.
Yeah.
Like, it just makes everything better and gives you more energy, more confidence, more resilience, more conviction in what you're doing, better appreciation for like doing hard things. You know what I mean? Stress reliever. I can go on for days.
I hear that a lot, the stress reliever.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I'm excited to talk to you because I need a boost in motivation myself. I used to be in the gym like 5-6 days a week, real fit, feeling really good about myself. And the number one thing I noticed was like, yeah, I was making gains, but my anxiety like went away.
Yeah.
You know, I had no stress. And so I wonder if you've seen that in your clients is like once they start to commit, they just generally feel better about themselves.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's like the feeling of accomplishment. And again, doing like a hard workout, like a 30, 40-minute hard workout, it makes the rest of the day not that bad. You know, like the adversity throughout the day doesn't seem as bad when you're, you know, beating the shit out of yourself in the gym,
Yeah.
for lack of a better word.
And it's funny too, like I used to be like, man, I can't control so many things about my day and my life, but I know that like I can do a 30-minute workout.
Yep.
I can do a 40-minute workout. I feel like just having that one thing every day that you can control does a lot more for people than they would realize.
Yeah, stacking wins.
100%.
And again, it doesn't even have to be every day. Like I'll get into this as we go. I think the sweet spot, especially for people that haven't like been working out for a while, is like 3 to 4 days a week. If you can get 3 to 4 good quality days, like that's money. You can get great results with that.
But that doesn't even sound that intimidating.
Yeah,
like you tell
exactly.
someone like, yeah, I know you're a busy professional, whatever. Just get in there 3 days a week for 45 minutes.
Yeah.
I could do that.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean.
100%,
I'd rather
dude.
have 3 good days rather than like 5 to 6 like so-so days. You know what I mean? Like it's all about consistency over intensity. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the way I look at it.
I love that,
And
dude.
again, it depends on the person, but
So look, man, I know that you work with busy professionals and parents and younger, older, whatever. Why do you find is the biggest reason that people don't get in the gym?
I think people love the idea of getting in shape and love the idea of working out, but they really don't. It's so overwhelming in people's heads that they don't know where to start. They
Yeah.
don't know where to begin, you know what I mean? And that's completely understandable. Like the gym is a really intimidating place. I mean, obviously it depends on the gym, but like you go in a gym and a lot of people compare themselves to other people. Like they compare their journey to other people's journey. And they don't know a sustainable, like realistic approach to start, right? And a lot of people go in and go way too hard to begin. You know what I mean? They go full steam, pedal to the metal, and they just, you know, burn themselves out too quick.
Yep.
They don't have a plan and they don't have something that's right for them. So I think it's a combination of both those things. And people don't see the immediate benefit, so they're like, oh, what's the point? And a lot of people, again, like it's easy for me to say like I love working out, it's my profession, it's my life, but like people have just a lot of things to think about, right? They have bills, they have their job, like they have their family, they have their kids. Like that's like the last thing on their mind. Like they going to a gym thinking of a workout to do and doing it for 2-3 weeks, not seeing results. Like what's the point here? You know what I mean? Like they don't see immediate results, so they stop doing it. So.
And and it's hard to form a habit, man.
Exactly.
It's super hard to form a habit. And just real quick before we continue, I just want to quickly talk a little bit about a habit I formed recently. I've been taking this for 7 days straight. A company called Magic Mind, which I've really enjoyed, honestly. They produce a mental performance shot. It's supposed to increase focus, provide lower stress, and calm energy without the jitters. They reached out, and I'm grateful they did because we were talking off air about how I used to be like an energy drink fanatic. And look, from time to time, I'll still indulge. But I've been taking this now every morning for 7 days. And I have to say, I feel good. My focus is high, and I'm definitely less jittery. So I would recommend it to anybody listening. It tastes good. Most drinks that are green like this don't, but this one certainly does. I'm gonna take mine right now, and then I'll give you guys a quick offer just for listeners of this show. Yeah, you saw me take it. It's not bad. Tastes citrusy. But yeah, it's honestly quite good. And you guys have a limited offer you can use now, just exclusive to listeners of the show, that gets you up to 48% off your first subscription or 20% off one-time purchases with code FOREVERPOD20 at checkout. That's FOREVERPOD20 at magicmind.com. I know you work with a bunch of different people and you're passionate about programming. When you look to build a program, like what are the core elements that you build a program around?
So there's like 4 elements that I look at, right? So like where they're currently at, right? 2, where they want to be. 3, what their current lifestyle is, right? 4, how much time can they give realistically? How much quality time, I should say, they can give like realistically, right? So like again, where they're currently at. So like where they're at physically, where they're at mentally, their body weight, their lifestyle, if they sit a lot.
Dude, I sit all day.
Yeah.
That's one thing I get. I'm sure we'll talk about this a bit, but just like getting up and moving. Like I don't move during the day.
Yeah.
I just sit there and then go home. Like my step count is probably abysmally low. So I appreciate that you said that.
Yeah.
Because just moving is important.
Exactly, just moving. So that's like outside the gym. And then that goes back to my point, like I want to have control over so much more rather than just the workout. You know what I mean? But in terms of like where they're currently at, so like let's say they're a former athlete that has a good base. Like I would program differently for someone that's never strength been before that doesn't have a base. Like for example, like a former athlete, I would mimic like an athletic style workout, so like an upper lower split, right? For someone that's never lifted before, has no base, I would do more of like a bodybuilding like bro split, so like that separates by body parts, like a back and triceps, a chest and biceps, leg, shoulders, or even just one body part per day. So like if they don't have a base, that's how I would attack it. And then for someone that is super busy, has a good base, likes running, let's say they like running, they want to incorporate strength training, maybe a 3-day full body run on the off days.
Nice.
So it really depends on, again, where they're currently at, and then what their goals are. So I could like really hone in on, let's say someone really wants to get a 6-pack, right? So like I would really hone in on extra core training. You know what I mean? More weighted core training. So it's like, what are their aesthetic goals, and then what are their physical goals, and then how can we fit that in like a week span with their lifestyle? You know what I mean?
Dude, it's so well said. And what I'm thinking about as you explain this, because I haven't really spoken to anybody that goes as deep as this as you do. When I used to look at the gym, I would program for myself, right? I would just do like the same kind of full body split every week. But really, when you get down to it, like the gym is just like a canvas, right?
Yeah.
And you can choose exactly how you want to tailor it.
Yeah.
And I feel like not you specifically, but you can almost be set up for success working with maybe somebody like you, or you can even set yourself up for failure if you go in there without a plan.
Yeah.
And so I think it's good to go in the gym regardless, just it's good to be in there. But it's also good to go in there smart. Like some people go in there maybe not knowing what's going on, and then after a few weeks they don't feel different or they don't look different, and then they say, this isn't worth it for me. This programming element I'm learning through a lot of your content is really important.
And like I'm a firm believer that like fitness should be enjoyable, right? It should be, there's so many different variations of exercises, like modifications, substitutions to get the same result, for example. So like you should never do, in my opinion, do an exercise that you absolutely dread, right? Like there's always another, like if you hate doing barbell squats, you don't have to do barbell squats.
Yeah, like if I hate front squats, I don't have to front squat.
Yeah, you don't have to front squat. You can find a squat variation that you like and then progress it over time. Cool. You know what I mean? And then if some people, like some of my clients love variety. So like every 4 weeks we'll switch up the exercise just to keep it interesting. Some people like their core exercises, so we keep it the same for, let's say, 8 weeks.
Yeah.
And we just make sure we make it a little bit harder each time, or whether it's increasing the weight, whether it's increasing the reps, whether it's increasing the sets. It's called progressive overload, right? So finding exercises that you can progress and then just doing that, right? So
and over time too, with the progressive overload, as you mentioned, by the way, I love that phrase. You train your brain to realize like, because you can directly see yourself improving.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It's sometimes hard to see improvement because like you're just living in the present in like a lot of areas of your life.
Yep.
But with fitness, you can be like, well, last week I did this weight and this week I did this. Yep. So you literally can see the progress in real time.
Yes, exactly.
It's one of the few, I think, disciplines where you can literally tangibly view your progress. Yeah. Anyways, man, it's funny because you make this seem less intimidating and you do the work for people.
Yeah.
They don't know what they need, right? And there's so much nuance, but I'm sure you just return to them a plan that's like, hey, do this. You make it very simple.
Dude, I say that all the time to my clients. My job is to make your life as easy as possible, right? Make it as simple as possible, less overwhelming. You open up your app, you have your checklist of what to do, have your workout, have your lifestyle goals.
Oh, so you do it through an app?
Yeah, I do it through Trainer Eyes.
No way.
It's an app where I have all of my programs, my personalized programs. There's exercise videos, there's descriptions. I'll send them like you ever hear of Loom? It's an app.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
you can screen record.
Yep. So I'll send them like a whole workout breakdown, 2-3 minutes. Say you're pulling up to the gym, you can just watch in the parking lot, go in, bang it out. If they have any questions or need any further breakdowns, I can send them another Loom video. Loom's amazing.
Yeah.
Not an ad.
I wish, dude. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
But that's unreal, man. And look, I can imagine for somebody that's a novice or even someone that's advanced, this is very helpful.
Yeah, for sure.
You talked a little bit about running earlier. And I'm curious your take on this because I see a bunch of opinions on cardio versus fitness all the time online. Do you have any opinion on that? It seems to me like you're open to the idea of your clients doing cardio. You don't think it kills gains. Like, what's your view on cardio versus lifting, the split, all that?
Well, they go hand in hand, right? So if you look at lifting, strength training, resistance training, right, that is the purpose of that is to change your body composition, improve your body composition, improve your muscles, your bone structure, increase your hormones in terms of like testosterone, stuff like that. And then the cardio is for heart, lung health, right, and speed the process up a little bit, and increase your working capacity.
Yeah.
So there's different levels. I don't want to go too far into it, but there's different levels of cardio. Have you ever heard of like the heart rate zones? You know what
Yeah,
that is?
absolutely.
So like zone 2 is when your heart rate's between, let's say, everyone's different, like 120 and 130. So
for me, that's where it is.
Yeah, so I'll program usually like a normal person, like 4 days a week at like zone 2. So that could be like a 20, 30-minute walk, right? And that's just meant to, again, like just work your heart rate. Where a lot of people mess up is they overdo the cardio and don't do strength training, right? Because they think that's how you're gonna lose weight, and then you're just on a hamster wheel, right? You're just burning, because you, like, think about it, if you do like an hour run or an hour Stairmaster, like you're only gonna burn like 800 calories. Like you can eat 800 calories in 5 minutes. You know what I mean?
I can do it in the jar behind me full of Twix bars.
That's what I mean. So like,
yeah, and it's funny you say that too, because I feel like you're speaking directly to me. Because it's funny, like once I started to hit the plateau I was talking about, I was trying to figure out ways just to get like more fit generally. So like I would go to the gym and then I would sprint like 3 miles to start the workout. And sure, is that like cool for someone to see like, oh wow, that guy's going really hard? But then like I would burn honestly not that many calories and then be shot. And then the rest of my workout would suffer because of that.
Exactly.
And so there's like a balance to all this.
Yeah. So I'll give you some free game, bro. So like 4 days a week, zone 2, right? Outside of your lifting. This is outside of lifting, right? So separate the two, right? Zone 2, so 20, 30-minute walk. You could literally what I do, bro, like I'll go on like a stationary bike, answer emails, incline walk, answer emails, watch a podcast.
Yep.
1 day a week, zone 3-4 cardio. So your heart rate's elevated a little bit. I usually put this as a finisher. So like a finisher, like HIIT circuit, ab circuit, arm pump, like a little like 5 exercise circuit, right? You time 40 seconds each, 10 seconds. So your heart rate's going a little bit, right? Then 2 days a week is zone 5. So zone 5, so zone 3-4, rewind a little bit. That's like 10, 15 minutes, right? Zone 5 is where like you're pushing it, right? You could do sprints. I love doing sprints.
Yeah.
You could do a rower. You could do a skier. You could do jump rope. It could be like an EMOM. So every minute on the minute, you can go as fast as you can, jump rope, 30 seconds, rest 30 seconds. So you're just increase. So the more you do zone 5, that main purpose is to increase your working capacity. So your heart's a muscle, right? You're strengthening your heart. So you'll find if you do that in your strength sessions, you'll be able to push it harder, right? You'll be able to push through those last 2 reps where you're just like, shit, I want to give up. Like your heart rate, you can literally calm yourself down and get through that set, right? So the cardio is meant to improve the strength sessions. If that makes sense.
Totally
so
makes sense.
They go hand in hand, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of people do one and not the other, right? Those like beefy dudes that never do cardio, they're very doughy, if that makes sense. Strong as shit, but doughy.
Totally.
Right? And then the people that just do cardio are just skin and bone. And again, I'm not meant to like judge people, but
like maybe that's part of becoming an athlete.
Yeah, literally.
Like you want to be an adult athlete, like you should be doing both.
Both, yeah. They
right?
both go hand in hand, man.
Are you really hitting sprints? You'll hit sprints outside?
I love sprints, dude.
Oh, you're a menace.
I sprinted more up in Saratoga. I went to Saratoga. Why they had a whole big ass turf.
Yeah,
So I do sprints like 2 days a week.
Oof.
As like finisher. But I love like 20-yard sprints and then like walk back 20. And sprints are so efficient because you could do like, dude, you could do 10-minute sprints. Not like obviously continuously, but like 10-minute sprint intervals. And like you'll get great workout. You know what I mean? Like it's
totally.
You feel explosive. You feel alive. Your heart rate's jacked up. Like I love doing sprints. I haven't done a ton in a minute just because like it's harder with. I wish I had a sprint treadmill in my gym, but once it starts getting nice out, I like doing it outside.
Totally.
Start doing more sprints.
Totally, dude. Well,
yeah.
It's funny. We talking a little about like bone structure, muscle mass, and like you and I are both 28 years old. We're getting older. We're starting to get to our 30s and 40s. And then I'm curious because I've heard a lot about what happens to our bodies as we age and how important having muscle mass is.
Yeah.
So maybe to circle back to the first question, like why is it important that people work out specifically with respect to like the fact that over time our bodies are changing?
I think you hit the nail on the head right there, but it reverses aging. So like keep you younger for longer. So past 30, your muscles start to deteriorate. You know what I mean? Like if you don't, it's like use it or lose it. Like if you don't work your muscles, they're gonna eat at themselves. You know what I mean? And then once you get past like 50, 60, don't quote me on that, but your bones will literally like deteriorate over time. So that's why you see like older people like shrink. If you don't strength train, like
Yeah.
that's basically why. And again, I don't have any like scholarly
Scholarly
articles or
reference
anything.
on that.
Yeah, but that's where you see like, because fitness is relatively new. Every 10 years or so, like more research comes out. You know what I mean? So like back then, I feel like in the 80s and 90s, when people looked at fitness, they just looked at, all right, you look good for like beach body. You just want to look good for the beach, right? That's what people looked at it for, right? And then as time goes on and more research comes out, it's like, no, it's more than that. It's so you don't hurt yourself. If you drop something in the kitchen, you bend over and get it, right? So it's more functional, right? You learn how to properly hip hinge. So when you hip hinge, use your glutes and your hamstrings. You learn how to use your glutes and your hamstrings when you pick something off the ground.
Instead of what? Just like bending at the waist?
Yeah, bending at your spine, rounding your whole back. You're throwing out your back, right? So it's more so for injury prevention and to just keep muscle and skeletal like function. You know what I mean? Keep the mass. And that's why I feel like is more of a motivation than looking good aesthetically. True. Like I'm well aware that like 80% of people that I work with, right, they don't really give a shit about that, right? I mean, obviously it's nice to look good with your shirt off and stuff, but like they want to move, they want to be pain free and reverse aging as they go and not hurt themselves over like minuscule tasks.
When I was like in college lifting, honestly, all I cared about was looking good and like getting gains because who cares? You're in college. But now it's like I have a fiance. I used to say girlfriend. I got engaged last weekend, so I have a fiance now. Thanks, man. But like the days of me trying to do this to look good are over, right? I have no interest in that. But there is so much longevity to be had in fitness. And I mean, again, I'm acting like I'm some person that's in a gym often. I'm not, but I know I need to get back because if you don't, you know, you see people in their 60s and 70s that are in pain and they can't like catch themselves if they fall. As an adult athlete, you almost like buy yourself some years of additional
quality life.
Yeah, because I mean, I guess there's one thing to live there's one thing to live a long life, but there's another thing to live a long, healthy life. Yeah, where you can do things like you can take walks with your grandkids. You know what I'm saying? You can pick up something at the store if you need to go get mulch when you're 60 or like that's real. Like that's the real outcome of all this stuff down the line. Yeah. And you rob yourself of that if you don't go to the gym. Yeah.
And what I found from training in person, I was going to say this earlier, like I got this from Matt Phelps, who's the owner of Metabolic. He said a lot of people don't know how good it feels to get stronger. Like they've never felt themselves get stronger, so they don't even know how good it feels. And then once we talked about that earlier, they get hooked. Once they like see some progress or like do something they thought they couldn't do, they get hooked right away, right? So it's our job to show them how to do it and how good it feels.
And it's like a drug, dude. It really is. I don't want to sound like I'm trying to be like so grandiose, but like I got chills when you said that because I remember the first time that happened to me. Because my whole life, I just thought I was this one person. Yeah. And then all of a sudden you're like, wait, I can actually be a little more. Yeah. And then a little more and a little more. And it's like you start to realize that you have the power to control your physique, but more broadly your own life. Yeah. It's like it's bigger than the gym.
It is.
I'm curious about your, because this is your life, right? Fitness. It's your passion. Yep. I honestly wish I had a passion for fitness the way you do because this is something that'll keep you alive longer and make you look better. But like, are there days where you don't want to go to the gym?
Dude, absolutely, bro. I would say it comes in like waves. For example, like the past two months, I would say I haven't been motivated like that much at all, dude. Like I would say like maybe 1 or 2 days out of the week I've been motivated to work out.
I'm really surprised to hear you say that.
But then during the summer, it could hit like 4 to 5. You know what I mean? So it kind of comes in waves, but it's just so habitual at this point, dude. It's like brushing my teeth, bro. Like I don't feel okay. Like I feel like I do it more so for the mental benefit than the
physical.
Yeah, there's so many reasons why, but like I just don't. I literally like I have ADHD, bro. Like I can't sit down and do computer work unless I work out, bro. Like I can't sit still too.
Really?
Like yeah, bro. I have to move. Like I have to either even in the morning even if I can't get to the gym, bro, I have to either go for a walk, do like a mobility session, or just something. Like I need to do something before I can sit down. Like I'm just very jittery person. I'm a very hyperactive person. I'm more not motivated to work out than I am motivated. Like I would say like on a good week, like 3 days, and then the rest. I mean, I strength train 4 days a week, 4 or 5 days a week. So I would say 2 of those days.
It's funny though, because people would look at you, and me too, I would assume.
Yeah.
Because this wasn't supposed to be a gotcha question. Like, I thought you'd be like, look, 1 day a week I don't want to go, but I still go. But you're like, no, it's actually not like that.
No.
I would assume you get up most days fired up to go do what you love, but it's, and on top of that too, you're programming for clients and working with clients. So like, I could imagine how there might be an overload of like, oh man, I'm doing this a lot. Yeah. But you still say, okay, this is important to me. I need to go.
Yeah. No, I mean, one, I'm addicted to the feeling after for sure.
Oh yeah.
Two, I literally can't, like I said before, I literally can't sit down unless I work
This is
out.
so bad.
And like I'm driven by the fear that like I'm not doing enough. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
which is kind of never ending. Maybe that's not as healthy as it.
Oh,
it
that's
should
same with
be.
me.
Yeah.
You know, and I think that's a problem a lot of people face with like self-talk and stuff. And
Yeah.
I'm just curious, like it's not even on here, but like, because look, I mean, you've got a lot of good going for you right now. You got your own business, right? You're in tremendous shape. You got all these clients. Like, do you struggle too with like sometimes not feeling like I'm doing enough or I'm good enough?
Oh yeah, it never ends, bro. Never.
Yeah.
That's what you'll see. Like even when I was driven, like when I first got into fitness, like it's body dysmorphia. Let's be real. Like,
Completely.
Like I could look in the mirror, like, and I'm sure any gym rat can relate to this. Like it never feels like you're always gonna focus on the part that you have to improve more than what you look like in itself, and you can almost use that. I have a reel about this. You can almost use that to your advantage if you just put your head down and just like work without looking in the mirror. Like those are the biggest like physique changes I've seen. Like I've literally put my head down, didn't look in the mirror for probably like 2 months, then look up and be like, wow, like I looked completely different than I did 2 months ago, and then like I'll still focus on a little thing that I want to improve. So it's like a gift and a curse. It pushes me. Right. And some people will get that and be like, shit, what's the point? But like, I just look at it, this is a lifetime, like it's like a project. Right. So like, it's never going to feel, I'm never going to be fully like satisfied,
and I'm sure, like,
dude. Like,
it's the same thing with me. And I've said it on the show before about other disciplines, but like, you know, you feel like you're going to, when I finally do this, like I'm going to finally get that satisfied. I'm going to finally reach the top of the mountain. And then you get there and you realize like there's another one and it's way bigger. And so it's never ending.
It's never ending. But it's
like,
fun, man.
It's fun. And I found that a lot of the successful people that I've met, yourself included, like they are successful because they have that attitude.
Yeah, literally.
Right? If you can sit there and be like, oh, I've now done enough because I'm 28 and I did this business and now like everything else is whatever. Like that's not a recipe for success.
Yeah.
So it's sometimes hard to live with because you're always feeling like you're playing catch up.
Yeah.
You're behind. When in reality you're ahead. But like that's the thing that I'm trying to find the balance, man. Because like a lot of people would look at me and be like, oh, you got a job, you live in New York City, whatever, you got this apartment. But in a lot of ways, I feel like I'm in dead last.
Yeah.
So that's something I'm working on. And maybe part of the fix will be getting back in the gym because the gym helps.
Yeah.
It really genuinely
It
helps.
does.
And just more broadly, I'm curious, like on the mental health side of this, because sometimes, you know, mental health typically comes up on this podcast. Do you find that when people get in the gym, their anxiety goes down, their self-confidence goes up, they start to look at themselves differently?
Absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like just the feeling after like a workout, like the endorphins flowing through your brains, you know what I mean? Like through your brain.
Through all your brains.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. It's just a stress reliever. And again, like fitness is one of those things that like you can't fake. Like you can fake how much money you have. You can fake how much status you have.
Dude, so true.
You can't fake a good physique, good health. When you shake someone's hand. So like even for people that aren't necessarily driven by the health benefits or the aesthetic benefits, let's say like a businessman, like someone will take you more seriously if you're more fit, like automatically. You shake someone's hand, like, because that shows discipline, that shows delayed gratification, that shows that they care about themselves, right? That shows that they consistently take care of themselves no matter how they're feeling, right?
Completely.
They're going to do it. So like if that's not motivation to do it, or that should be like great motivation to do it in itself. It helps every aspect of your life.
Totally, dude. And I appreciate the point you said about people in business because I think it's a subconscious thing that we don't always realize. But like I sometimes sit in rooms with business people and automatically if somebody comes in with a good physique that's well pressed and their hair is done and they shake your hand and it's a firm handshake and you can just tell like they take care of themselves. How are you going to take care of me in business if you can't even take care of yourself?
Exactly.
And I don't think people might not consciously say that to themselves in their head. There's, oh, nice to meet you,
yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
But like, I do think it affects it.
Yeah, you can't fake it. You can't.
It's one of the only things, to your point, that you can fake. Like I could go buy a fake watch, I could go buy a fake chain, but I can't go buy muscles.
You can't.
I wish I could.
Or like a more defined face, or like
Totally. Or a better jawline.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you can't. And again, like I don't think people, to your point, I don't think people like consciously think about that. I think it's like unconsciously, oh, like this dude takes care of himself. You know, I don't think people like actively look for it. It's just something they notice right away, and you can just earn respect immediately just off the bit.
And I hear people talk about like this phrase called pretty privilege, where it's like, well, if you're a beautiful woman, you typically get treated better. And like maybe part of that is true, but on the man side, like I don't really know if that exists. Like maybe there's handsome privilege, but generally like you can go earn your privilege. Just go to the gym.
Yeah.
Like if you want to get respect from other men, I hate to say it, but the truth is like get physically fit.
Yeah, literally.
That's literally what it is.
And I remember when I first started at Metabolic, like I was honestly struggling with like confidence in terms of training clients because I was like, I never trained clients before. You know what I mean? I'm an intern.
Totally.
But like I was in good shape, and I remember Matt Phelps said, he's like, dude, you already looked the part, bro. Just like go in there with confidence. Like they're gonna listen to you.
Sure, they assume already.
Yeah, they assume you already know what to do. So like go in with confidence, like, and you're good. Like it's harder for someone, let's say like a trainer that's like not really in super good shape, and like you're skeptical is like, why would they tell them what to do? Like they're not in shape themselves. They're skinny or whatever.
Totally.
But it just gives you that layer of confidence. Sometimes you got to remind yourself that, especially I'm speaking to myself, that like I put in the work and I've built my body over 10 years. Like I know what I'm talking about because I've done it myself.
People deal with that, man. Like that imposter syndrome. Like
Yep.
you're literally standing there training someone. Like you got this incredible physique. You have all this knowledge. And even in your head, you're like, can this person even trust me? Like,
Yeah.
do I even know what I'm talking about?
Exactly.
But you do. One thing I want to ask you about, and this is one thing I struggle with and didn't do enough in the past, is the diet side. Because I know nutrition is huge. And I think that's one of the most overlooked elements of this.
80% of it, dude.
Because you know what? Diet was the thing I overlooked
Yep.
when I was, because I was in college. I was just eating junk.
Yep.
How important is it?
Dude, it's like, I would say, this might be an understatement, but like 20% of it is strength training, cardio, and 80% of it's nutrition. Like the saying goes, you can't out-train a bad diet. Like,
It's crazy though, because that's true, but like everybody thinks it's just the gym.
Yeah, the gym's the fun part, man. Like again, once you get over that initial hump, that like 2 to 4 week hump, and it becomes routine, and it becomes like again the feeling after that you get addicted to. That's the fun part, man. Like the harder part, but I can make it super simple, is the nutrition. And I mentioned this earlier, but most people don't eat enough, to be honest with you. They don't eat enough of like the good stuff. They just don't eat enough in general to really see progress. So like it's all based on, again, have you heard of the macronutrients?
Walk me through them quick for anybody
Yeah.
listening.
So your macros are your proteins, your fats, and your carbs. So it's important for the buy-in to longevity to understand what the purpose is of each macronutrient. So your protein obviously is to build muscle, right? It's for the muscles to grow back stronger. It's for recovery, to recover after workouts, right? It's to keep you more full, so you're not
Totally.
craving unhealthy carbs the whole time. Most people understand that part. Most people have a negative relationship with carbohydrates, right? So carbs are your energy, right? It's the fuel in the gas tank, right? So like most people don't eat enough carbs, and they go into the workout with not even like a quarter tank of gas, and then they wonder why their output in their workouts aren't great. It's because they're not eating enough carbs. Again, there's unhealthy carbs, which is junk. Everyone knows that.
Like empty carbs,
yeah,
right?
empty carbs. Yeah, like liquid calories, like chips, soda.
Yeah.
Just junk, dude. Processed food. But healthy carbs are white rice, potatoes, sweet potatoes.
Yep.
Sourdough bread. Those are just to name a few. Fruit, vegetables, right?
Yep.
So that's all your fuel for your workouts, right? So again, you're filling up your gas tank. Most people don't eat enough carbs, right? They neglect that, and then they wonder why. One, their workouts are trash. Like they don't have any energy in their workouts. Two, they wonder why they hit like a 4 to 5 o'clock just wall.
Just crash.
Right, just crash. Because it's not even just for workouts, it's for like your day, right? It's
Totally.
it's the gas for the day. So that's the carbs. And then the fat is for your hormones, right? It's for your testosterone. It's for, a lot of people, again, they cut all their fats, and I'd recommend no one, especially men, don't go under 60 grams of fat.
I never heard that
Yeah.
it has anything to do with hormones.
Hormones, like testosterone, yeah, dude. So like literally eating enough fat will make you more of a man. Like
I never heard that before.
yeah. So like healthy fats, like avocados, olive oil, almonds, raw butter, like all those are good sources of fat. And again, you need all three of them. And that's why, like, again, I'm going on a tangent a little bit, but that's why, like, I'm not fully sold on like a keto diet or like a carnivore diet.
I was going to ask you about that though, because people cut carbs out.
Yeah.
Or they only eat meat. Like, do you take a more holistic approach?
Yeah, I'm just not a huge fan of just ignoring a whole macronutrient. Again, you could definitely get some results, and I'm not knocking it if it works for you. Like that's
fair
fine.
enough.
But whatever's sustainable for the rest of your life. Do I think neglecting carbohydrates is sustainable for the rest of your life? Like, no, I don't think so. Like, I believe in like an 80-20 approach. Like 80% of the time, you eat healthy, you're on your shit, you're eating whole foods, single ingredient foods. 20% of the time, you can go and enjoy like pizza and wings and stuff like that.
And just to ask, because I think I know, but I want to confirm. When you use single ingredient foods, right? Just like whole foods, like
foods.
ground beef,
Yep.
rice,
Yep.
a vegetable, a fruit,
Versus
like looking at the
eggs.
label and having it be a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, eggs, like
Yeah.
literally, and it just makes when you start looking at, I got this from Pat Davidson, Dr. Pat Davidson, which is a huge influencer in the fitness industry. He goes to my gym. But when you start looking at nutrition from like a mathematical equation, like it becomes a lot more simple, right? So that's why sticking to single ingredient foods just makes it way more simple for people. And again, like it's the more you do it, the more like, dude, eating healthy is delicious if you do it correctly. You know what I mean? Like you'll start, when you start looking at like those processed foods, the sugar, like it's just like a drug, dude. Like the more, I don't know about you, if I have like a bag of candy, like the next day, like I'll be craving candy, I'll be craving sugar. You know what I mean?
That's
like
the problem. Is it the more you eat it, the more you want it.
Yeah, exactly.
But like, so you got to suffer through. And I'm saying this, dude. I got 2 bags of chicken parm takeout. Like I eat like junk. But I am recalling when I used to not eat like this, and you see, this conversation has me wanting to go get healthy again. But like, it takes like, let's say 2 weeks or 3 weeks or a month of like saying, okay, I'm gonna really want this stuff that I always ate, but I'm not gonna do it. And then after that, it just becomes normal.
Yeah, dude.
Over time, it gets way easier.
Yeah,
it's
literally.
like anything in life. All this is like anything in life.
I would say the sweet spot's like 2 weeks, man. Like once
2 weeks?
2 weeks. Once you feel like how good, once you're reminded, because most people know all this, dude, but once you're like reminded of how good your body feels when you do, fuel it properly with healthy ingredients, you don't want to go back. You know what I mean? Like you don't like you feel like and then once you splurge and you feel like garbage, you're like, damn, I forgot what this felt like to feel like garbage. But when you feed yourself feel like garbage, it just feels normal. So it works both ways. Like,
so well said.
Yeah.
And also, too, like, you flip it. Like, oh, wait, I'd rather be the person that when I eat junk food, I feel terrible. As opposed to eating junk food all the time and thinking I'm feeling good, but I actually feel terrible. So that, like, when I eat a fruit, I'm like, I don't want this.
Exactly.
I want it to be the inverse.
Yeah.
So I am curious, are there, like, any foods that you think we should just, like, avoid? Like, overall, like, I am so anti-X, Y, or Z. Or is there a place in every diet for certain things that you want, just in moderation?
I should say this on camera. I'm not a registered dietitian.
Yeah, right.
So like I can, especially, or nutritionist. So like with my clients, I tell them all that. Like I can't tell you what to eat. I can just give you suggestions, right? So there's really not foods that I just tell my clients to like just completely stay away from, other than like crap, like fast food, like stuff that goes without saying. Like I haven't had I can't remember last time I had fast food. Just like fast food, candy. But again, like I don't tell them to because I think it's just overwhelming if you tell someone that they can't have their favorite foods anymore. You know what I mean? It's just more so how does it fit within your macros? That's the beauty of counting your macros. Like you can still enjoy your favorite foods without sacrificing.
As long as it all fits.
As long as it all fits, as long as it fits your goal. And because again, it's a calories in, calories out. If your goal is to lose weight, you need to be in a calorie deficit, like a slight calorie deficit. If your goal is to gain weight, you need to be in a slight calorie surplus. So it's like you can still enjoy that, but it's like, again, how does it fit? Like if I have a Reese's peanut butter cup and it's like 250 calories, you know what I mean, for one cup, like how does that fit the rest of my day? So it's like once people like see like how it fits in the equation, then they make better choices. But there's like I'm not a firm believer of telling them you can't eat this, you can't eat that. It's just like how does it fit in your day?
Yeah, exactly.
And again, if you have a big donut and it's 400 500 calories, you'd be like, damn, like that's a big chunk of my daily calories. So like you more so, again, look at it as like a math equation as opposed to restricting yourself. I don't like restrictive diets. I think it promotes binging later on and falling off. You know what I mean?
And I agree. And it is funny you mentioned the Reese's Cup. Like, again, I'm blind to all this right now because I'm just being a menace on this planet these days. But if you look at the calories of certain things, you will be astounded.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even read calorie counts, but like the other day I had like a tiny little thing of Pringles, and I looked on the back, it was like 300 calories. I was like, this literally takes me a minute to eat.
Yeah.
You know? And so I'm feeling like I'm talking to myself. I got to watch myself. Because before you know it, you just stack up like 4 of those categories of food in a day.
Yeah.
And like 3/4 of your calories is just in junk.
Exactly, dude. And it's, again, like it's eye-opening when people start counting their macros.
It really is.
But like, dude, I love Reese's. Like I'll have Reese's like as long as it fits. And like I'm a firm believer, again, on the macro subject, like I don't count my macros year round. Like I'm a believer, and again, everyone's different. All my clients are different. Let's say like I'm like right now I'm eating in like a slight calorie surplus. So like my maintenance is like 2,700. So I'm eating like 29 to 3,000 calories, right? Just because I do that in the winter, I'm putting on a little more muscle.
Yep.
Don't really care if my abs pop right now. Like I'll do that in the summer.
Yep.
But I'll track for, let's say, a week. And I'll get to a point where I can listen to my body when I know I'm eating enough. And I eat a lot of the similar things. So I'll get to a point where I can listen to my body, and then I don't track. I eat the same things, and
You just know.
I just know. I know in a workout if I ate enough carbs or if I didn't. And again, I eat the same things every day. Like I have the same breakfast every day. I have the same like 2-3 dinners every day. I don't need a ton of variety to be but some people are, and that's where like some of my clients they like a ton of different foods. That's where I recommend. And they like seeing it on a screen that they're within their calories or in their goals.
Yeah.
But if you eat the same 2-3 things, like you could track it a couple times and like you're good, dude.
And it
like,
can also be delicious too.
exactly. Like if you're like a boring eater like me, like I eat the same 2-3 things. Like I don't need to track every day. Like,
But I'm sure you love it. You're like, oh, I
yeah,
can't wait for dinner. 'Cause
exactly.
I love this thing.
Because I don't think it's healthy to track everything you eat forever. You know what I mean? Like
It's not sustainable.
you got to learn how to listen to your body. Like,
Yeah.
and you'll learn, and you only do that through tracking your macros, but that's the
Totally.
way I look at it. And then once I, let's say like April, May, and I'm going to start going in a little calorie deficit, I'll track for a couple weeks, and then I'll know.
So
I'll
you'll
just
be
listen
like,
to
this is my
for that.
routine and I'm good now.
Yeah, and I can just listen to my body, and then whenever like I feel like a little off track, just track again for a couple days and listen to my body again.
Good for you, man. I'm
Yeah.
jealous because right now I'm like a vacuum cleaner for junk. So I need to get healthy again. One thing one of the things I'd like to close on is it's just a fun question. I'm curious, like you said, you don't promote binge eating and all that, but do you have like a cheat meal? Like, do you have a go-to, or no, you don't even get those cravings anymore?
Dude, of course, bro. I love food, but I don't even like the cheat meal, like the term cheat meal. So I'll do with my clients, I'll have like one untracked meal, but like the more like I'm coaching people, the more I'm kind of getting away from that. Like if it fits, you can kind of eat whatever. But like my favorite like guilty pleasure, I would say.
Yeah, that's a better
Yeah,
phrase.
like pizza and wings, dude. Like pizza and wings, burger, fries. But again, like I could have that. Like I'm at a point now, like if I want a burger, like on a Wednesday, like I can cook like a healthy burger. You know what I mean? Like a 94%
lean.
yeah, like a lean burger. You know what I mean? Like I don't even have cheat meal. Like if I have like a pizza on a Thursday, it's really not a big deal because I know I'm working out the next day anyway. Like if I'm in a pinch, you know, like.
So it doesn't make you even feel guilty. This is whatever.
No, it's whatever, dude. And again, like when you're really on top of your diet, like those meals, like again, one, you don't feel guilty, and then they're just so much more enjoyable because you know you're just on your shit like 80% of the
You're like,
80% of the time.
I
Yeah.
earned whatever I want to eat right now.
And the more you do it for a long period of time, like it's again, like you don't feel bad about it. But yeah, dude, like I don't even like the term cheat meal. I don't know why. Like
Because I guess then what are you cheating?
I don't even like the term diet, dude. Like I just
Really?
I don't like diet. Like I just like this is because diet implies that we're doing it for like a set number of time. You know what I mean? Like say I'm going on a diet, so I'm going on a diet for 3 months. That implies that it's not sustainable for the rest of your life. It's
Oh,
just
dude,
like,
so well said.
yeah, like I just don't. I'm like straying away from even that word, dude.
So when you think about putting a nutrition, I know you're not registered dietitian, but like when you think about what people should be eating, you don't think about like, okay, for this 4 weeks you're going to eat this, and then back to whatever. It's
No,
like, this
exactly.
is just what you eat now.
This is what we do this is what we do from now on.
Yeah.
Like this is teaching you how to properly fuel your body. Again, it's fuel. Once you mindset shift from food to fuel, then like once you see that the output of your workouts, again, you're just putting fuel in the gas tank for your workouts, and then once you see the outputs from your workouts, then once you see the results, and then it's just like you treat your body as a machine.
That's it, dude.
And that's all it is, dude. Like
And definitively, just to close on it, because I want to hear you say it, if you make diet improvements, you genuinely feel way better. Your
Yeah.
whole body,
Whole
everything's
body.
different. Yeah.
better, more energy, more output in the gym. Again, like that's the way I look at it, dude. Like just again, gas for the car.
And we're high performing dudes. Like you need good gas in the tank.
You need
to
good
do
gas.
things.
You need, and not even just for workouts, just for life, brain fuel.
Totally.
Okay, so you don't hit that 4 or 5 o'clock wall. You could keep going, keep being productive.
Well, right now I'll do like a 5 o'clock double shot espresso, and that's not just like that. Like
Yeah.
that is what keeps me going.
Yeah.
But what I wish is that I just had like a healthy diet, or healthy eating plan, whatever
Yeah.
you want to call it, to just keep me like as long as I need to work on. I got it because
course.
my tank is full. Well, look, dude, I want to close on this, and this is something I was thinking about as you explain what you do. I keep hearing this concept about things that are simple but not easy. Mm-hmm. Would you consider this one of those things?
Oh, 100%, dude.
Yeah.
It's very, very simple, but it is, again, it's not easy. But that's anything when you're building a habit, right? It's not going to be easy right away. And that's why fitness and nutrition and taking care of yourself is like the greatest metaphor for achieving anything. It's not easy until you do it for a long time, and then it becomes easy because it's so habitual. And you feel once you get to a point where you feel off and you don't feel yourself because you don't do your routine, you don't do your workouts, your nutrition's not on point. That's when you know you made it. You know what I mean? Like that's when you know you really built the habit.
That's when you flipped it to where the good habits are now taking over.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. So again, it's simple, not easy, but it becomes easier. Another way to put it, like it never gets easier, you just get stronger.
That's also really
Yeah.
well said, dude.
Yep.
Andrew could build you a plan, right? It's the greatest plan in the world, but it's nothing if you don't actually go and do it.
Exactly. You'll
Well,
know.
where can people find you, man?
You can find me at Andrew Holmes Fit, at Andrew Holmes Fit on Instagram. Again, I have a ton of content on there in terms of like exercise breakdown, lifestyle hacks, motivation, There's a link in my bio if you're interested in working with me. You can schedule a free consultation where we can dive in deep on where you're at right now. Again, I offer a ton of free value, free 30, 40-minute phone call. We'll see if it's the right fit for both of us. We can go from there, but you can find me at Andrew Holmes Fit. We'll go from there.
Beautiful, man. And I'd recommend anybody who goes and follows him, man. Even if you're not interested in working with him one-on-one, I really do mean this. Like you put out a lot of content that's just free game.
Thank you, bro.
And it just it helps people contextualize like what's going on in their bodies, what you're doing in the gym, and even just general motivation, right?
Yeah.
Like you're just a normal guy out there trying to make people's lives a little bit easier.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you for
Thanks
coming
for
on.
having me, man.
Of course, man.